It's Friday at noontime. You know what that means? We're going to have a special guest star. No, it's the Friday noontime webcast from Mighty Fine Guitars in Lafayette, California. Thanks for tuning in. Stevie Coyle here, your gracious host. Got one guitar to show you today, going back to just one guitar. And it's a sweetie. There's this guy, lives up in the north of the North Bay, up in Santa Rosa, California, who does great repair work. He does where he goes where others fear to tread, which is to say that excuse me, hang on a sec. Are you there? Am I there? Check it real quick here. Yeah, it looks like it. Good. All right. Camera could come up a little bit, couldn't it? He takes old beat-up guitars where the wood is still really good and the bones of the thing are good. It just needs a little patching up here and there, kind of Frankenstein monsters together guitars sometimes. Does neck resets where others would not. Does a lot of repair work, bridges and saddles, setup work. He's fantastic. His name is Matt Kerslake, capital Kerslake. Only the K gets capitalized, of course. And his latest offering is this here. Now, this is going to be a birth year for somebody. A 1958 Martin 00018. Mahogany back and sides. Spruce top. Sounds great. And I think you'll agree. Let me play for you a little bit. Kind of ridiculous, I suppose, to describe a Martin guitar as sounding very Martin-y. But this one does. It's got that thing that Martins do. Don't know how to describe it. Help me out here. Something in the low mid-range that blooms and informs, to use an overused term even more, that blooms in the higher registers, kind of generates in the low mid-range and then flows upstream. Oh, how's that for poetic? And I'm not trying to be non-committal, but that's kind of what I hear in Martin guitars. Something like akin to that. I think a lot of us would imagine in a blind taste test, if we were handed a Martin guitar amongst other guitars, we could pick the Martin. I don't know, though. They tried that with violins, and even masters, people that played those instruments before and know the sound, and experts that have heard them, misidentified all of them. So who knows? All I got to tell you is this one plays great and sounds great. Lots of repairs. It's a 1958. It's got splits. It's got cracks. It's got beautiful repair work, you know. It's a player-grade guitar, no doubt about it. This is not a collectible in that sense, in that it's pristine and fabulous. It's beautiful in its own way. Sound like the California Bay Area? Yeah. Sun is getting high. I can't help you with your problem if you won't help with mine. Etc. I forgot how that actually goes. How's the sound, by the way? Would somebody pipe up and tell me if the sound is okay? Hi, Klaus and Cindy. Jenny Montague. Go Marine World. Have you heard about the party that Jeff is putting together? Jeff T is putting together a party. Hit me on the Facebook Messenger here. I'll send you what details I have. Kind of a reunion, akin to the one that happened in 2018. The rest of you, talk amongst yourselves. Jenny and I worked together at a wonderful animal park and entertainment zone. A few years ago now. Wow. This is one of those ones that you can picture not playing great and not sounding great, but still having, like I say, the bones, having good bone structure. Because it's a Martin. A typical 00018, which is to say narrow fingerboard, 1 11/16 down here, short scale, so that the distance between here and here is shorter than it is on some other guitars, OM guitars in particular, which makes for easier bending if you do that kind of thing. And a little softer feel in the left hand as well. That's a Martin. Thank you, Zingraffs. Sound is great. That's good to know. Good, good, good. Because this guitar, I want you to hear it. I want you to come play it. If you're anywhere near Lafayette, California, it's one of those little towns that's across the Berkeley Hills from San Francisco, from the immediate Bay Area. Part of the Tri-Cities area. Lafayette, Moraga, and Orinda. La Morinda is what we're called. Easy freeway access, easy BART access to the shop. It's all right there on mightyfineguitars.com. So come on down. There's this guitar and, I don't know, 65, 70 other guitars, all of which they didn't walk themselves into the shop. They were walked into the shop by people who the typical story is, I'm not playing this lovely guitar. Somebody should. Let's sell it. Okay. So we do. And there's lots and lots. You can see some of the background here, like that. But there's guitars over there and there and there and there and there. So come on down if you can. If you can't, take a look at the website and let me know if there's anything that is there where there isn't a video feature of it. I'd be glad to do one of these videos for you in case there's particular interest in a particular guitar. Kind of thing happens all the time. Sweetie. And you know, this is my pal Eric Schoenberg, also has a great guitar shop over in Tiburon, California. His claim is the 000 OM size, they're the same size body, different string length and width, not width, if you'll pardon the expression. But his claim, and I have to agree, is that the 000 OM is the do-it-all great size guitar. It's not huge like a Dreadnought, so you feel like Kilroy sitting behind your guitar. The body depth isn't going to put not the Johnny Depp, the body depth is not going to push your arm out past the point where you're going to inflame your tennis shoulder or tennis elbow. Best of all is the waist is narrow, which is to say the whole guitar sits lower on your lap than it would with a Dreadnought, with that Dreadnought that we all had to have back then that no longer fits us. There's a stack of Dreadnoughts in here. In fact, I've got a bunch of D28s from days of yore that all need to get placed in new arms and sent to new homes that are all fabulous. but they've been brought in because they're just kind of too big for their owners anymore. As we get older, we get, many of us, wider. And we no longer fit around those dreadnoughts that we just had to have in college and high school. And that have been maybe lying under the bed for years and years because we don't play them anymore, because they're too big. The Dreadnought was designed for bass response and volume. You don't need that. You perhaps don't need that. Sitting on the couch watching Netflix. Just a guess, not to be presumptuous. Hi, John Reynolds. Nice to see you. Hey, Ron. Oh, thanks, Ron. You spotted me out. I don't know whether to call that "There Went the Sun" or "Here Comes the Rain" or what. Help me out with that. Folks, Ron Peters, check him out. Wonderful jazz guitarist. Had the good fortune to teach at a camp with him, a music camp with him, a couple of summers ago. And folks, do feel free to pass this on to like-minded souls. Hit that little share button. Send it over to people you think might enjoy this. You can do that now or later once the video goes up and stays up. But here's the thing. Videos used to stay up indefinitely. They used to stay up forever. Nowadays, I get a note from Facebook, from somebody at Facebook. We will mention no names. Somebody says that after June 1st, videos will stay up only for 30 days. So if you want to see previous videos, first of all, you can go to YouTube, because everything I do here ends up on YouTube. Or if you want to spot them here on Facebook, you can go hit the little more indicator at the top of my page there. Run down to where it says videos, and you'll see scads of videos. Whatever a scad is, there are several of them there. And then to some kind of minor, you and I, and you have memories longer than the road that stretches out ahead. I'll have it for you next week. Promise. 1958, Martin 00018. I've dubbed it the Frankenstein because it has a lot of patches and scratches. A lot of work has been done on it, all of it really good. It's a very stable guitar. It's had a neck reset. Oh, let me read you out what Matt Kerslake has done to it. 1958, 00018, neck reset. He's not afraid of doing resets. It's routine for him now. He's got a system down where resetting a neck is not a big deal. New bridge, new saddle, inspection of all old repairs. There's some old repairs on here that are pretty basic. There's been some old patching done and a little overspray where that patch happened on one of the bouts here on the side of the guitar. Some side crack repairs on the treble side, lower bout, performed by yours truly, he says. So it's in great shape. It's even kind of pretty. You know how some old Martins have that kind of crackly finish and stuff and some cracks that tell a story? I wish I knew what the story was. Matt wishes he knew what the story was. Come and get it. 1958, Martin, 0018. Let me check and see real quick if there are any comments or questions. I just can't wait. Hey, Lewis. Wonderful builder. Folks, check it out. I've got also in the shop, we featured it a couple of weeks ago, Louis Debret, Debret. He's online right now. Check it out on mightyfineguitars.com. It's under LPD and Louis Debret, and under Debret, the name. Nancy Paul, nice to see you. Very good. Been a while. Hey, Paul from Sebastopol. He's a triple O lover. Am I right? Is it the do-it-all great size guitar, Paul? I think it is. And there we are. Dan Ide. Fine sounding. Fine sounding triple O. I see what you mean. Yes, Dan. Well, next week, I think there's a guitar coming in later on today that's particularly interesting. If I saw the pictures right and understood the description right, it was a very brief email encounter. It's a McPherson, which is a really radical body design with kind of a D hole instead of an O hole in the middle of the guitar. It's got a D hole off to the side. I think it's a carbon fiber guitar as well. So that will be highly exotic as opposed to the highly traditional Martin 0018 from 1958. I think next week we're going to be featuring a McPherson. I think it's kind of a Dreadnought cutaway with carbon fiber body. Should be interesting. Those guitars, I'll be interested to see if that guitar does what other McPhersons I played does, and that is that it sounds hugely different in front than it does behind. We'll see. Science will tell. So thanks for tuning in. Your old pal Stevie Coyle here. Tuning out for this week. Tune in next week, Friday at noontime for the Friday noontime. Oh, and next week, we've crossed over into daylight savings time. Fun. So your clocks will reset themselves. Maybe not the one in your car and that annoying one on the oven. You'll need to fix those. But Friday at noon next week for possibly the McPherson and whatever new comes in the door. Great to see you all. Comments or questions, I'll get to them. Stack them up down below there and I'll get to them as quickly as I can. This video will be going over to Instagram and then over to YouTube as well. So you can always see these videos on YouTube. Great to see you. Thanks for stopping in. So long, everybody. Stevie Coyle signing out.